Liverpool is after the superstar of the future. The ups and downs of the season continue in Liverpool. Since the beginning of the season, stability has not been achieved and the winning streak has not been achieved. Finally, some confidence has been gained by beating Tottenham, but the Reds now need to keep their rhythm in order to get into the top four. However, the Reds are also planning the future squad and there are quite old names in the team. While many separations were expected, especially in the midfield, there was a gap in the offensive line due to the fact that new names could not be replaced this summer, and Firmino's future remains uncertain. Liverpool turned to young players for the offensive line and one of them is wonder kid Youssoufa Moukoko. The young star is the teammate of Jude Bellingham, which Liverpool want to sign. A few stars made a name for himself in the Dortmund youth team, but now he is starting to find a place for himself in the A team. The young player is only 17 years old and managed to impress everyone with what he did on the field. This season, he scored 6 goals in 12 games and made 4 assists. Although he is only 17 years old, his market value is shown as €15 million. The young star, who is frequently mentioned in transfer news, made statements after the Bochum match they played in the league. When asked about his future, Moukoko said, "I have been with Borussia Dortmund for 7 years and I feel at home here. I know this club very well and coach Terzic trusts me." Moukoko became the youngest player in Bundesliga history to score 10 league goals this weekend, defeating current Bayer Leverkusen star Florian Wirtz and German legend Lukas Podolski. With the attacker's contract expiring next summer, interest in Moukoko is high. Liverpool is one of the clubs that want to sign the young star, and Barcelona also wants the player. Liverpool may have the resources to sign Moukoko, but it's also important to remember that the young forward could stay with his team. Indeed, Moukoko has been one of Black and Yellow's brightest sparks all season, alongside Liverpool's target Jude Bellingham. However, unlike the British star, the possibility of moving to Merseyside in 2023 seems more likely due to his fee. Moukoko is undoubtedly one of the best candidates in Europe and a talent who can continue to dominate the best of the best if she continues with her current development plan. Liverpool hasn't been replaced since Origi's departure, and we're almost certain that Klopp would have used such an option this season if he had. If the young player adopts the role of Origi when he first arrives, he will get the jersey in time. Considering that Klopp can also contribute greatly to his game development, it seems like a very good move for the future. He could serve Liverpool for many years, or he could leave the club at a much higher price than he came in, making a high profit for the club. It is certainly advantageous for Liverpool to take such a gamble. Do you think Youssoufa Moukoko can succeed at Liverpool? Marcos Llorente is on target for Liverpool. The need for a transfer to the midfield area, as well as Liverpool's forward line, is obvious. As we just mentioned, there are many older players in the midfield and some players' contracts are coming to an end. For this reason, the club will go through a major restructuring during the transfer period and Klopp will roll up his sleeves to establish a new midfield order. Although Jude Bellingham is the first target in midfield, the Reds continue to explore other options. One of these names is Atletico Madrid midfielder Marcos Llorente. Spanish club Atletico Madrid's failure to qualify for this season's UEFA Champions League round of 16 and financial problems put them on the transfer list for one of their key players, with Liverpool targeting Marcos Llorente. This gives the Reds a big boost in pursuit of the 27-year-old offensive midfielder. Llorente is a proven European midfielder and much cheaper than the Reds' primary target Jude Bellingham. The Spanish player has not been in top form this season and therefore could be offered for sale at a much cheaper price than market value. According to the information transferred, Liverpool can buy Marcos Llorente for a figure of £35 million, much cheaper than the £131 million launched for Bellingham. The versatile midfielder has played almost every position on the right side of the field under the direction of Atletico coach Diego Simeone. He had 19 goals and 20 assists in 130 games for the Madrid-based club in all competitions. The Reds know at least 2 of those goals as they scored twice in extra time to knock Liverpool out of the 2020 UEFA Champions League at Anfield. If he transfers to Llorente Merseyside, he will help reduce squad age and give him the freedom to have multiple choices with his versatility. At 27, he is at the peak of his football years and has enough qualities for Liverpool. The Spanish national team player plans to join his national team at the World Cup, which will be held in Qatar later this month. A good performance by the player will inflate the price, and if interest grows, Liverpool should try to seal the negotiations as early as possible. Moreover, with Liverpool's injury crisis, a move for a midfielder and a move of Llorente's caliber makes a lot of sense. Owen thinks the Liverpool player could be the second coming of a Chelsea legend. Michael Owen said he saw a bit of DROGBA in Darwin Nunez. The Uruguayan has made an incredible impression since arriving at Liverpool in the summer, but not just with goals. In fact, some seem to wonder if Nunez is a good actor. This came as he adjusted to his new team, despite scoring 7 goals this season. Owen thinks people who criticize him will end up with eggs on their face. I think people who are a little negative will have eggs on their faces in a few years. This lad is doing something raw but breathtaking in one or two areas, he said. Owen then went on to make comparisons with Drogba, who was also critical of coming to English football. Nunez has a thing or two that I thought was wow, he said. His size, his speed, he's very aggressive in everything he does. I remember when Drogba came to this league and everyone laughed at him. His touch was terrible for the first year, he made a lot of mistakes. He looked pretty raw, and then he evolved and turned into the absolute beast of a centre forward. I think this lad might be the same. We can see the comparison, even if they are different players in the end. Both rely heavily on their physicality rather than demanding technical play. While Drogba wasn't that slow, he was more about power than speed. Nunez is the opposite, he's strong, but it's his speed that makes him hard to handle. It's certainly true that Drogba has come under criticism when it comes to English football. He joined Chelsea for a huge fee at the time, like Nunez. He finished his first season with 10 goals, and the Uruguayan is on track to do so again. Then we should hope that Nunez finds comfort in the league as Drogba did. In fact, it's normal for Nunez to be more effective when he's back in the game. Because while the opponent is starting to fall from the game, the Uruguayan star can drag the ball vertically and does not hesitate to go on his opponents. However, it is clear that he has difficulties against closed defenses. He's been getting more chances lately and has managed to take some of it. It is obvious that Nunez has had some bad luck. His overall contribution to the team is good, and if he continues to improve, he could make his mark in the Premier League like Drogba.